everybody? It's Jason, your friendly neighborhood spider fan. Just wanted to do a, recommendation review video of a few of the comics that I have. Just showing off what could be a good read to you if you haven't read it yet, or if you have, you could reread it. Things of that sort. But before I get into that, if you notice, I have a new intro, and it's nice. I want to thank Ronnie Xline for doing my intro. Real nice guy. Check out his page. I'll put the link down below. I just reached out to him, and he said he would be glad to help, and he did. So, he was actually the first person to donate to my GoFundMe campaign, which I'm so thankful for. But yeah, Ronnie, thank you. So, another thing before I get into my recommendations, yesterday, if anybody has seen the Swamp Thing movie, the first one and the second one, if you remember those movies, if you're old enough to remember those movies, or if you're older than me and still have seen those movies, had a great loss yesterday. The man who played Arcane in Swamp Thing passed away yesterday. He was 92, I think, and his name was Louis Jourdan. Yeah, it's sad because he was also in Octopussy, if you've ever seen it, the James Bond movie. Yeah, he was the bad guy in that. He just played a lot of bad guy roles, but yeah, real sad. Passed away yesterday. So far, it's natural causes, but he's in a better place now. Another thing, Johnny, if you're watching, look out for May 13th of next year. Something special coming out that day. So keep a lookout for that day, and yeah, if not, look it up. Okay, so now my recommendation for Goodreads, and before you even go into it, make sure you wash your hands before you touch your comics, because you don't want no fingerprints or anything on your comics, because then it just ruins it, and if it winds up with a smudge or anything, it brings down the price when they grade it. So make sure your hands are clean, they're washed, it's dry and everything. And if you're really anal about things, wear gloves. So first one I wanted to go into, that's a good read, Superman Earth 1 Volume 1. It's just basically a retelling of the whole Superman story, going from it's not actually going from Smallville, but it starts off with him on a train going to Metropolis. He basically starts out as dirt poor and becomes a scholar, a star athlete, and then a brilliant scientist. Makes a whole lot of money. And then after that, he just pretty much wants to live a normal life, so that's when he goes and gets into journalism. Gets a cheap ass apartment and moves in and starts at the Daily Planet. I don't want to ruin the whole thing, but just know these aliens come to Earth, and that's when he has to become Superman because he's trying to blend in with everybody, but he doesn't want to be who he really is. He's trying to stay far from who he was born to be until these aliens come, and then he has to put on the suit and he has to save the whole world. So that's one good read. Next one is Superman Earth 1 Volume 2. This takes place like maybe a few months after the events of the first one. Metropolis is still rebuilding, like in Man of Steel. Still rebuilding, but he has a new enemy. You actually see a new version of the Parasite, and the Parasite just looks crazy in this. Let me see if I could find a picture. He looks real strange in this book. If I could find it. Okay. Yeah. Parasite looks real strange. This is what he looks like before he gets Superman's powers. Just all strange looking. Let's see if you could get a better look at this. Trying not to mess it up. Better look. Alright. Yeah, this was a good read too. Y'all already know what's gonna happen pretty much if the Parasite's in here. Takes Superman's powers, goes rampant on the city, and yeah, you know what happens from there. So, like I said, I don't want to ruin the end, so if you get a chance, pick it up, read it. It's a good book. I liked it. It's different from the other Superman comics and everything. So, yeah, check it out. Third one, going along with the Superman. I just got this last Monday as a late Christmas gift, very late Christmas gift. It's actually volume 3 of Superman Earth 1. In this one, Zod comes to Earth, and it's actually, they made it, since it's a different telling, Zod is actually Clark's uncle. So, and he's still hell-bent on making Clark dead. So, and then there's not only one, but there's 2 Luthors in here. Lex and Alexandra. So, Lex is commissioned to make a machine to take away Superman's powers. And when he does do it, he unfortunately does it right in the middle of Superman's battle with Zod. So you could tell how that ended. But yeah, so when you get a chance, read Earth 1 Volume 3, going along with the whole Earth 1 series. Next one, I heard they're doing a Volume 2 of this. This one was a really good read. If you like this person, then you'll love this book. It's Batman Earth 1 Volume 1. It's like Superman was. It's a retelling of the whole Batman legend, but it's completely different. The main villain of this story is the Penguin, Uh, Not gonna get into too many details, but if you ever wanted to see Alfred kick Bruce Wayne's ass and you've never gotten a chance, read this book. You will see Alfred whoop the living shit out of Bruce. And it's funny as hell. So, if you get a chance, pick this one up. You're gonna like this book. It's very good, very detailed. This one is written by Geoff Johns. He did Blackest Night. He pretty much does just about every DC major battle comic that's out. But the art in here is great. It's extremely good. I mean, like, you could tell just by... Let me see. Let me find a good... How would it? I'll go to the end. The art is real good in this. You could tell right here just how the full page splash looks, and the story is really great. So if you get a chance, pick it up. I recommend this one a lot. Just like Superman Earth 1 Volume 1, I recommend both of these. They're like right now somewhat at the top of the list. Next one, another good story that has to do with Superman. If you've never read it, Superman Last Son. It deals with pretty much, it deals with a ship landing in Metropolis, and it happens to be a Kryptonian ship. And in the Kryptonian ship, there's a baby in it. Superman finds him. Him and Lois start to raise the child as their own. And then they find out that the child is actually the son of Zod, who's still stuck in the Phantom Zone, but he actually managed to send a ship out with his son in it. And it's to the point where his son finds out who he is and completely disowns Zod and doesn't want nothing to do with him. And once Zod actually tries to come and take him back, big fight happens. But I'll let you read the story. In the book, there's parts of it that are actually in 3D, and it provides you with the glasses, which they're called Phantom Zone Vision. So, because most of a good majority of the section of the book is in 3D, but good read. It's a collab writing with Geoff Johns and the original director of Superman 1, Richard Donner. They both wrote this book. They collabed on this book and wrote it, and it was a good story. So, another good read. Check this one out. Let's see. What else? Okay. This one is kind of a older read. It came out in, I think, early 2000. Damn. I forgot when it came out. Came out in 04, 05, around there. Let me see. Yeah. The original one came out in like 05. It's drawn by Jim Lee. This came out right after Batman Hush. It's Superman for Tomorrow. In this, a whole bunch of people are disappearing. Nobody knows how, nobody knows why. It's kind of like, if you think of the Rapture, that's exactly what it's like. People are there one moment and then they just completely disappear. And Superman's trying to find out what's going on. Because one moment while he's out in space doing a mission, comes back, Lois is gone. So you know what happens when Lois is gone, he flips out. So he spends a majority of the time telling his story to a priest that has pretty much gone on a different path than what he should. So him and the priest are kind of helping each other out. The priest is helping Superman out, getting his thoughts together so he's more clear-minded and trying to figure out what's going on, and he's helping the priest out just by getting him to go back to being a helper. You know, what priests usually do. So, this is Volume 1 and Volume 2. All the same story, but still a good read. So check these out. Next one is, I'm gonna do this one quick because it didn't really spark my interest. It's Ultimate Spider-Man. This is the newer Ultimate Spider-Man. It's the first 6 issues. This takes place right after the events of Ultimate Marvel Ultimatum, when Galactus comes to Earth and pretty much all the superheroes of the Marvel Ultimate Universe are wiped out and only a few heroes are left, one of them being Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Johnny Storm and Bobby Drake and a few other people. The story is okay. I don't like the artwork because it's not how it should be. Brian Michael Bendis wrote this. Mark Bagley who's usually the artist for Spider-Man. He's the one that should have been drawing this. After a while, he did come back to it, but yeah, I just don't like how this one was drawn. So, yeah, that's this one. The next few that are good reads, if you've ever read Wolverine's Origin, the first one, this is Origin 2. Let's see. Takes place right after the events of Origin 1. Wolverine has become full animal and he's living out in the wild with he's living in the wild with a pack of wolves who have pretty much made him part of their family. Till this big bear decides to come in and wipe out his whole entire wolf pack. And that sends Wolverine on a rampage to where he kills the bear and is lost. He's still full animal and he's going from place to place trying to find his place in the world now that his family is dead. And he's got all these memories that are all in his head, trying to make sense of them, and he's just mentally lost. So this is a good read. It's here's the first one. This is the second, third, fourth, and fifth. It would have been nice if they had did it like the original Origin series was, but I don't know. I guess they figured they'd do it differently, so. But still was a good read. So, get a chance, check it out. Next one. If you like Spider-Man, like I do, you need this issue. Especially if you had liked the original Ultimate Spider-Man, you need this issue. It's The Death of Spider-Man. Not regular Spider-Man, but Ultimate Spider-Man. In this big, huge battle between Spider-Man and the Green Goblin, gets to the point where both the Green Goblin and Spider-Man are fighting right in front of his Aunt May's house with everybody watching. Everybody knows who Peter is now. Everybody knows that he's Spider-Man. And far off in the background, if you know about Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles Morales is in the background. He already has his power, but he doesn't do nothing to help. So he pretty much stands by while everything's going on. And everything that's happening, it ultimately ends in Spider-Man and Green Goblin going out in a blaze of glory. It's a huge, huge thing. So if you get a chance, read this one. You might want to get the other ones too, so you could check those out and see what happens after. Alright. I know this is kind of running long, but yeah, there's a lot to read. Alright. This one is The Amazing Spider-Man, and it's number 700. It's the death of Peter Parker. In this, Dr. Octopus has taken Peter's body, and his mind is in Peter's body, while Peter's mind is in Doc Ock's dying body. So it gets to the point where Doc Ock has assumed Peter's life, and Peter has assumed Doc Ock's life, and at the end, Peter forces all his memories into Doc Ock and makes him want to change. After this, it starts off the Superior Spider-Man series, which I didn't really get into, because who really wants to see Doc Ock as Spider-Man? So, but this one was a good read. And then it got to this one, The Return of Peter Parker, Amazing Spider-Man number 1. Peter comes back full blown in his body, no more Doc Ock, and all is right with the world again. I actually got 3 of the number 1s, different variants. I had to. So, this was a good read also. And now, the last one. The Spider-Verse. If you know anything about the Spider-Verse, the whole story that goes with that is vampires have taken and killed some of the Spider-Men from different universes and different multiverses. In order for the vampires to live, they need to take the life force of a Spider-Man. So all the Spider-Men team up to contact the original Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and warn him about what's going on. It gets to a big battle, and all the Spider-Men come into the Marvel, the original Spider-Man universe, to fight off these vampires. This one I haven't read yet. I know the story, but I still need to read this one. And I know this one was a good read. So that's all of the comics. I know it's a lot, and I know I ran on and on about all of them, but yeah, I just wanted to recommend those and tell you what I thought about them. And also, if you're gonna be collecting comics, what you should do, the best thing to do, go to your comic store, and if you're gonna get comics, make sure you get these backboards, the current ones, because if you get either Silver Age or Golden Age, it's not gonna fit right in the bags. So if you get the current backboards, you get the current bags. But if you're gonna get the current bags, make sure you get the resealable ones. These at my comic store, they're $7.99, just like the backboards were $8.99. So, and it comes with 100 each. So it's a good price for these. But like I said, make sure you get the resealable ones, because if you get the regular ones and then, you tape up the back, anytime you go to pull out the comic, the tape could possibly stick onto the comic and it could ruin the comic. You don't want that. So get the resealable ones. Resealable ones are perfect. You'll be fine with those, and you don't have to worry about nothing. So, okay, those are my reviews and recommendations. If you like the video, comment down below, like it. It helps out my channel. And go check out my GoFundMe campaign. Share it, post it up, do whatever you can. Donate if you want, if you're able to, and I greatly appreciate it. So, with that, I'll probably do another video sometime soon. I know I have a couple of boxes coming in, and my Boxalypse should be here soon. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. And as you can see, no music in this one, so no bullshit with that. If you know where that's from, you'll laugh. But again, thanks to Ronnie X Line for my intro, and hopefully y'all liked the review. If you do, let me know. If you want to see more reviews, let me know. Comment down below. I'll leave links for everything that I talked about, and I will see y'all later. Bye.